I don't get to opt out of paying taxes once we've made a kind of collective decision.
Why? No, the president won based on campaigning for raising taxes on the rich.
How do you go from bread bags to defending the top 1%?
You go there because
they're all afraid to vote for even a modest tax increase on people who can totally afford it.
If we want the rich to pay more money, getting them to give out of charity instead of federal obligation might be our only option. It doesn't make it any easier to know that my wealthy neighbor isn't taking responsibility. If they don't pay, why should I, right?
Well, maybe that's going to be her defense if it comes to a court case. Joining us now, folks, is John Nolte, editor-at-large at Breitbart.com. And John, welcome aboard. So what do we have? 4 MSNBC hosts who have apparently not paid their fair share or paid their required income taxes?
Yeah, they're not even, they demand tax increases on the rest of us. So they're not even living the change they want by overpaying their taxes to the rates that they believe the rest of us should be punished with. They're not even paying their taxes at the current rates they're being taxed with. And that's Al Sharpton, Joy-Ann Reid, Melissa Harris Perry, and Teray. So some of its state taxes, in the case of Al Sharpton, it's close to $4 million. Melissa Harris Perry is $70,000. Teray is $50,000, and Joy-Ann Reid is only $5,000. I mean, these are 1%ers. They probably make that kind of money in just a couple of months, or in some cases just a week, or in the $5,000 case, maybe a night. So why they're not paying their taxes it's incomprehensible.
It is incomprehensible, and you would think it would be embarrassing to MSNBC, to NBC News. I know they put out a statement, but there have been no repercussions.
Yeah, well, this is typical on the left, whether it's Hillary Clinton railing against Citizen United while bragging about the fact she's going to raise $2.5 billion, whether it's a feminist embracing Bill Clinton, who treats women like meat. As long as your politics are correct, the left, and that of course includes the mainstream media, does not care if you live the change you want. You can be as big a hypocrite as you want. If you're a good feminist, you could be accused of rape, and the media and the left they'll protect you.
Well, I don't remember who it was, but I do remember someone of feminist prominence saying that about Bill Clinton during the Lewinsky affair, et cetera, and the Paula Jones and all that. When asked how you could still support him, why isn't there more outcry? Why isn't there more, it's public denunciation of what he's done? And they said, well, he's on the right side of the abortion issue.
Yeah, so I mean that's all that they care about. You personally, you can be. I mean, look at Alec Baldwin. I mean, his homophobic rants are unlike anything any accepted person in America has done over the years, and he is still in good standing despite his obvious hatred of homosexuals, something you never see from the right, even though we're the ones attacked for that.
Right.
So it's just part of what we deal with.
But John, what about, I mean, Al Sharpton, and you mentioned 4 million, I've heard 5 million. I mean, This has been going on for years. So my question is, how does an employer put up with that? But how does the government? I mean, why is nothing that we know of happening to these people, especially Sharpton?
Well, certain people, they achieve a protected status in our country and in our culture. We're supposed to be a nation of laws, but when it comes to certain groups, and especially symbols of those groups like Al Sharpton, we see time and again that rules are for little people and that there is a protected status. I mean, look at what the IRS did to everyday Tea Party Americans who simply wanted a voice in our democracy. They persecuted them for years. There's been no repercussions. Meanwhile, Al Sharpton's running around probably making millions or close to $1 million a year at MSNBC, and he's not paying his taxes, and he gets away with it. It's really sickening.
And but it all pales in comparison, and we only have a minute left, so it's not fair to get into this with you, but it all pales in comparison to I'll keep saying, the stench that emanates from the Clinton Foundation and the conflicts of interest with Hillary.
Yeah, the media absolutely attacked Aaron Schock, a Republican congressman, for not handling his expense reports appropriately. and that's fine. But it's nothing. The Clinton Foundation makes him look like an Eagle Scout, and they will survive this. The media will ensure they survive this.
Well, that's the scary part and the unfortunate part. But, of course, folks like you at Breitbart and us here at Newsmax will do our part to make sure that the word does get out, and then let the chips fall where they may. Yep. Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, too.
All right, take care. All right, folks, I want you to stay tuned for this hour's American Moment.